Noonday prayers. For Muslims, the 5 daily prayers are a religious obligation, no matter where you are, even in Sweden. The prayers are peaceful, but here in Malmo, some have reacted violently to the Muslim presence. The mosque here was firebombed twice in 7 years, and last year a serial sniper tried to kill one of the office workers. A suspect was later arrested, accused of attacking as many as 13 immigrants, killing 3. Extremist violence is rare in Sweden, but the shooter ushered in what many fear could become a trend on both sides of the spectrum. In December, an Iraqi-born immigrant tried to plant bombs at a Swedish street mall. Luckily, his bombs malfunctioned. He only blew up himself and his car. Then, at the end of the month, Sweden and Denmark arrested 5 Islamist militants and accused them of planning additional terrorist attacks.
In 5 days, the whole discourse of the whole country changed. You know, we were in a state of denial. Every time we talked about the threat, people were charging with stigmatization, with Islamophobia. Now it changed.
For years, Sweden has had a very open immigration policy. Out of a country of 9 million people, more than 1 million are immigrants, and a third of that group comes from the Middle East and Somalia. Now, the immigrant question is causing a political backlash.
A minority is never dangerous before it becomes a big minority. When it becomes a big minority, then the problem will be regarded as a problem by the majority.
Critics say immigrants cluster together, refuse to learn Swedish, and live off the country's welfare. The tension over the immigrant question is being further inflamed by the rise of a far-right political party, the Sweden Democrats. Many accuse the party of using nationalism for their benefit, but the Sweden Democrats see themselves more in the tradition of European social democratic parties.
We believe in the welfare state, and to uphold the welfare state we have to make some changes. Immigration policy, and we also have to make welfare policy changes.
But careful criticisms about the welfare state are bookended by questions about the motives of Muslim organizations.
I think they are alone and secret. They say other things that they don't say in these open areas. So I don't really trust those Muslim groups that build those mosques in Sweden.
At the mosque in Malmo, the president of the center is very aware of questions about what goes on inside.
This is a center that we think of as more than a Muslim center. It's open to everybody.
The center is also home to a primary school for students from kindergarten to 6th grade.
We teach the same thing as the other schools because we have the Swedish curriculum. So we teach the students all the subjects that all the other schools do.
Students at the school also take classes in religion.
Religion, of course, unites us, but it plays a very big part that we have chosen to be a Swedish administration and to be a Swedish mosque.
The Islamic Center has been successful in recruiting teachers and students because tolerance is a celebrated value in Sweden. Street protests here are more likely to defend refugee rights than to demand a ban on Muslim practices like face veils. But as the fortunes of the Sweden Democrats improve, that tradition could change. At the top of the list of their objections, minarets.
Of course, the Muslims should have some kind of place to beg or to, hook up, to meet, but not those big complex buildings with those minarets. I don't think that's not a Swedish thing.
How the country decides what is Swedish is hardly a simple question, and how it's answered could have implications for countries far beyond Scandinavia.
If we can't get it right, what is a recipe for the rest of Europe who have much more backward policies in terms of social challenges that they are facing?
For MSNBC.com, I'm Matthew Rivera.
Daniel Arospide lokalpolitiker for Miljøpartiet i Stockholm. I 6 måneder infiltrerte han en av de største moskéene i byen. Der møtte han en gruppe på 10 som rekrutterte svenske muslimer til hellig krig.
Det finns extrema grupper i den moskén som rekryterar personer för just terrorattentat.
For Al-Qaida?
Ja.
Imamen, vet han hva som foregår?
Han vet vad som försiggår där, att det finns grupper, personer som tillhör extrema grupper, ja, som regelbundet tar kontakt med enskilda personer i moskén så att säga. Är det så att personen är singel så betalar de honom lite pengar. Är det så att personen har familj så lovar de mycket pengar till familjen ifall han väljer att dölja hans namn, ja. Och de personerna som de här Al-Qaida-rekryterarna riktar sig på är just personer som är arbetslösa, bor i dålig bostad, inte har jobb, alltså inte har någon framtid, ingen utbildning.
Var det mye tale om jihad i moskén?
Ja, det har varit väldigt mycket tal om jihad inne i moskén, ja.
Vad sa de om jihad?
Ja, att man ska fortsätta kriget mot de orena, oheliga, otrogna, ja.
Mot svensker?
Mot svensker, ja.
Lørdagens selvmordsbomber kom ikke overraskende på Daniel Arospide.
Jag hade det på känn att det skulle hända något i Stockholm. Jag hade bara på känn att det kommer någon bomb förr eller senare i Stockholm. Vi kommer inte kunna komma undan det så att säga.
Tror du det kommer fler terrordåder i Sverige?
Det tror jag säkert.
Tror du att det finns sovende terrorceller i Sverige idag, i Stockholm?
Ja, det tror jag definitivt att de finns. De 10 personer som var där i moskén har väldigt fria tyglar. Att kunna göra vad de vill i Sverige.
Och de är i stand till att göra terrordåd?
Ja, alltså de skulle kunna göra väldigt mycket värre saker.
Som?
Spränga ett kärnkraftverk.